Yeah, so I'm Andy.
Andy?
Andy.
Andy, it's great to meet you.
Thanks, Spike. Glad that you're here.
Thank you.
So it's unlikely that we're probably going to get rid of all the criminals in Washington anytime soon. I'm really hoping you guys get elected, but what's your plan and what's Dr. Jorgensen's plan to deal with these idiots?
So assuming that we get elected and we don't see a libertarian sweep of all of Congress, which, by the way, it would be impossible. So even if we saw even if Joe and I win in a massive 50-state landslide and libertarians win, every single congressional race that's on the books for this election, we still won't get the Senate because only roughly a third of the seats are up. So even if we have the most blowout election that any political party has ever had in American history, which, hey, I'm out to God's ears. If that happens, then we'll be in a great place. But if that happens, even if we completely control every single seat in the House of Representatives, we'll still have to deal with 2/3 of the Senate. There's at least some likelihood that we won't win every single election that we have. Whatever ends up happening, when Joe is elected and she's in the White House, and we're dealing with whatever Republican majority we are looking at in either the House and Senate or even just the Senate, the beauty or silver lining of the fact that Congress has, over the past several decades, abdicated their authority to the White House in the form of creating one regulatory agency after the next, one alphabet soup agency after the next, giving them nearly unlimited regulatory authority, and basically abdicating their legislative authority to the White House. The silver lining of that is that when Jo Jorgensen gets elected, she can just go in and start undoing that. We've heard of the pen. I have a pen and paper. Well, Jo will have a giant eraser and I will be standing behind her with an even larger shredder. We'll get very large, cartoony-looking office equipment that will do the uses, and we can just start shredding and undoing all of those bad executive orders, all of those bad regulations from the various alphabet boys. We can fire entire agencies and refuse to rehire anyone because she has the authority as president to hire and fire as she sees fit. All of this can happen at the executive level. And when the American people see the immediate and profound benefit of having the government out of their lives and having the money and the power and the decision-making and freedom back in their hands where it always belonged, and we get the massive political capital from people immediately and in a profound and measurable way, living freer and safer and happier and healthier and better lives and thriving and prospering in ways that were not previously possible, we'll be able to ride that all the way to Capitol Hill and draw a very clear line in the swamp there and say, we're standing on this line. We and those working with us in Congress to fix this at the legislative level and even through some constitutional amendments like, term limits. We standing on this side, I know how to use an applause line. We standing on this side are working every day to remove the boot from the neck of the people so that they can thrive in ways that you never allowed them to do. Or you can stand on this side of our swamp line and stay on the group of people, on the side of the people that are working to keep that boot on the neck of the American people and to allow for continued needless, unnecessary suffering for no other reason than as a cynical ploy to preserve your own power and wealth and influence. I think we win that battle. And if we don't win that battle negotiating with Congress, we win that battle talking with the voters every single day. I know they're trying to get me off. We win that battle every single day. Can you imagine having to work with me? We win that battle with the voters in the next election cycle, and the election cycle after that, and the election cycle after that. We put pressure on Republicrats, and we can't pander to them, and we don't try to meet them part way. We say, here is how we're going to do it. Here are the benefits of it. The people are on our side. Now, do you want to work with us or do you want to get run over? That's how we work on that. And I hope that answered your question. And folks, with that, I now have my sign-off music. They're going to physically come up here and remove me if I don't stop. Thank you again for coming out. Joe20.com. You are the power. Thank you again.
Thanks, Mike.